Imagine this, it's 11:47 p.m., you're lying on the couch after a long day scrolling Instagram, and there it is, your old college roommate posting stories from a fancy rooftop dinner in Miami. Cocktails, glowing caption, living my best life. Same age as you, mid-30s, same kind of $75,000 to $85,000 job. But somehow they were always out, always traveling while you're staring at your bank app wondering why money feels tight even though you don't spend much. Then you see it another $15.99 auto charge from Netflix, $10.99, Disney Plus $13.99, Spotify $29.99, gym you haven't been to in months. Total $90 slipping away this month without you even thinking about it. You shrug, it's only $90. But that $90, it's quietly killing your retirement, turning into $500,000 or more that you'll never see. Yeah, you heard that right. How stay with me. This hidden math is going to make you angry, then motivated. You think, come on, it's just streaming and apps. Everyone has them. How can that be stealing $500,000? The truth is going to hit hard because it's not about big splurges. It's about the small automatic charges that feel harmless but compound against you instead of for you. My name is Mark from Mark Invest. If you're tired of watching friends live larger on the same paycheck while your savings stay stuck, smash that subscribe button right now. Today we're diving into the hidden math of 2026 subscriptions, how the average $90 a month you're spending on apps and memberships could become $500,000 plus in your retirement account if you flip the script. Quick question to get us started. How many subscriptions are you currently paying for but barely using Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, gym, unused apps? Drop the number or list them in the comments. I read every single one and reply to as many as I can. Hit like if this already feels a little too real, and let's break down exactly how this small $90 is costing you big time with two people just like you. Okay, let's meet Jessica and Amanda. Two typical mid-30s Americans making around $75,000 to $85,000 a year in similar jobs. Same city, same rent pressure, same student loans hanging over their heads. Jessica is intentional about her money. A couple of years ago, she did a quick audit of her bank statements and realized she was paying for Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Spotify, Amazon Prime, a gym membership she hadn't used in 8 months, and a few random apps, totaling about $90 a month. She canceled the ones she barely touched, kept the essentials, and automatically transferred that $90 into a simple S&P 500 index fund, like Vanguard's VOO or Fidelity's FXAIX. Low fees, set it and forget it. She doesn't obsess over it. Maybe checks once a year and thinks, wow, it's actually growing, then goes back to her life. Amanda, she's in the same boat financially, but she keeps the full stack. It's only $15 here, $10 there. Everyone has them, she tells herself. Those subscriptions auto-renew and she barely notices. Her retirement account gets whatever is left after bills, which isn't much because life keeps adding costs. Daycare, car insurance, takeout on busy nights. Both feel like they're doing okay at first. Same income, same lifestyle on the surface. But here's where the math gets brutal and eye-opening. If Jessica invests that $90 every single month at the historical S&P 500 average return of 10%, over 30 years, she contributes about $32,400 of her own money. Compound interest turns it into roughly $200,000. That's almost 85% of the wealth coming from the market working for her, not from extra grinding at work. If she cuts a bit more, maybe adds $100 from reduced dining out or unused apps, that $200 monthly investment could realistically hit $500,000 plus over the same time frame. Amanda. Those $90 monthly charges keep disappearing into subscriptions she forgets about. By her 50s or 60s, her retirement savings might be sitting at $50,000 to $100,000 if she's lucky with sporadic 401k contributions. The difference isn't salary or intelligence. It's that one decision Jessica redirected the $90 to work for her future. Amanda let it vanish into things that feel good now but disappear forever. And it gets even crazier. Someone who invests $90 a month for just the first 10 years of their career, from age 30 to 40, that's only about $10,800 contributed, then stops adding. At a conservative 8% return after inflation, that could still grow to over $100,000 by age 65. Someone else waits until 40 and invests $90 monthly for the next 25 years, contributing more than twice the money, and ends up with less. The early starter wins because time is the real superpower. Your brain doesn't feel that exponential growth yet, but the numbers don't lie. You're probably thinking, Mark, $90 is nothing compared to rent or groceries. How can that really be the difference? Here's the uncomfortable truth. You already have it. You're just letting it slip away on autopilot. That $90 in subscriptions isn't just a small monthly charge. It's one of the sneakiest wealth killers for people in their 30s and 40s. In 2026, the average American pays about $90 a month on streaming and app subscriptions alone. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Spotify, Amazon Prime, YouTube Premium, that gym membership collecting dust, random meditation apps, cloud storage you don't need. And surveys from CNET and Self Financial show that $17 of that is on services people literally forget they have or never use. Pure waste. But here's the real shock: if you invested that $90 every month, instead of letting it auto-renew at historical S&P returns of 10%, it becomes about $200,000 over 30 years. You're not spending $90 on binge watching, you're spending $200,000 on binge watching. If you combine it with cutting a few other small leaks, like $50 less on delivery apps or unused memberships, that $150 to $200 monthly redirect could realistically turn into $500,000 or more by retirement age. Every single month you're choosing between another season of your favorite show and retiring years earlier with real financial freedom. The good news: escaping this trap is easier than you think. Start with a quick audit. Pull up your bank or credit card statements. Search for recurring charges under $50. You'll likely spot 3 to 5 subscriptions you can cancel in under 10 minutes. Tools like Rocket Money or Trim can even do it for you automatically. Cancel the unused ones, keep the 1 to 2 you actually love, and immediately set up an automatic transfer of that saved $90 or more to a Roth IRA or your 401k. In 2026, with inflation still making everything feel tight and living costs eating more of your paycheck, those small subscriptions add up fast. But redirecting them is one of the lowest effort, highest reward moves you can make. You don't need a huge salary increase or a side hustle. Just stop leaking money on autopilot. So why do so many smart people stay stuck in this cycle? It's not the math, it's your brain and the system designed to keep those charges coming. Let's talk about that next. But I know what you're thinking right now, Mark. Okay, $90 a month sounds small, but what if the market crashes? What if I cancel my subscriptions, invest that money, and then everything tanks? This is the biggest mental block that keeps smart people like you from starting. The fear of losing money in a downturn. So let's kill that fear with facts, not feelings. The S&P 500 has delivered an average annual return of about 10% since 1926, nearly a full century of data. We're talking through the Great Depression market fell 86%, World War II, the 1970s stagflation and oil shocks, the dot-com bust in 2000, the 2008 financial crisis, the COVID crash in 2020, the 2022 inflation dip, every major disaster you can think of. Through all of that chaos, the long-term average is still 10%. After inflation, it's roughly 7%, and even at that conservative number, your $90 a month turns into around $200,000 over 30 years. That's still life-changing. Here's the reassurance you need: the S&P 500 has never produced a negative return over any rolling 20-year period in its entire history. Not once. If you invest consistently for 20 years or longer, you've always come out ahead. Over 30 years, the worst annualized return was about 4.3%. Still positive and still growing your money. Every single crash has recovered. COVID dropped back in 5 months. 2008 took about 5.5 years to fully rebound. The market is built to survive. And here's the powerful part: nobody talks about enough. When you're investing $90 every single month, market crashes are actually your ally. When prices fall 30%, your $90 buys 30% more shares at a discount. That's dollar cost averaging in action. It automatically buys low without you having to predict the bottom or time the market. You don't need to be a genius trader, you just need to stay consistent. JP Morgan has data that makes this crystal clear. If you invested $10,000 in the S&P 500 from 2003 to 2025, and stayed fully invested through all the volatility, you'd have grown it substantially. But if you missed just the 10 best trading days out of more than 5,000 days in that period, your return drops by more than half. And 7 of those 10 best days happened right in the middle of bear markets, during the scariest, most panicked moments. If you pull out in fear, you almost guarantee you miss the biggest recovery days. The S&P 500 has survived the Great Depression, 2 world wars, 9/11, 2008, COVID inflation spikes, but sure, it's probably going to collapse because you decided to invest $90 a month. You're the one thing that finally breaks capitalism, right? Sarcasm aside, the numbers are overwhelming. The market isn't the enemy. The real enemies are your brain's wiring and the system that profits when you keep those subscriptions auto-renewing. Let's talk about that next. So if the math is this clear and the market has proven itself over 100 years, why do so many of us keep paying for subscriptions we barely use? Why does the average person let $90 slip away every month without a second thought? It's not the apps, it's your brain. And the companies that know exactly how to exploit it. Your brain is hardwired to keep you in the present. Present bias makes $15 Netflix right now feel way more valuable than $200,000 in 30 years. Your mind doesn't feel the future pain of being broke at 65. It only feels the immediate joy of another episode or playlist. So you keep the subscription just in case. Then there's loss aversion. The pain of canceling something you already have feels twice as bad as the joy of saving the money. Canceling Netflix. It feels like losing something even if you haven't watched it in months. Keeping it feels safe. That's why people renew without thinking. The brain avoids the tiny loss of access. Lifestyle inflation makes it worse. Every raise or bonus you add another subscription. I deserve Disney Plus now, or Spotify Family for the kids. Research shows 78% of people say they'll save more with a raise, but almost none do unless it's automated. Your brain sees extra cash and upgrades the small things first. More streaming, more apps, more comfort now. But here's what should make you angry: the system is rigged to keep you paying. Streaming companies make billions from auto-renew and forgotten charges. They design ads to say, just $15 per month, so it feels harmless. They make canceling a hassle on purpose. Hidden menus. Are you sure pop-ups? Because they know present bias and loss aversion will keep most people subscribed. Every commercial is engineered to convince you your $90 belongs to them, not your future self. They're stealing your retirement $90 at a time, and most people never even notice. The good news: once you see the game for what it is, you can stop playing. Regular people have flipped this script and built real wealth. Let me show you proof next. Let me show you exactly how real people have flipped this subscription trap and turned small savings into big wealth. Proof that you don't need a high salary or genius-level discipline to make it work. So if the math is this clear and the fear of the market is overblown, why do so many people let $90 slip away every month on subscriptions they barely use because they haven't seen the proof yet that regular folks, people just like you and me, have escaped similar traps and built serious wealth? Take Ronald Read, a janitor and gas station attendant in Vermont. He never made more than $20,000 a year in his entire life. He lived extremely frugally, showed up to work in a jacket held together with safety pins, drove a rusty old Toyota Yaris that his coworkers constantly joked about. But every week he quietly bought shares of solid dividend-paying stocks with whatever small amounts he could spare, sometimes $40 out of a $50 paycheck. He cut unnecessary spending wherever he could, no fancy subscriptions, no upgrades, reinvested every dividend, and never sold. When he died in 2014 at age 92, his estate was worth over $8 million. The local hospital he left money to was shocked. They expected maybe $5,000. His library got $1.2 million. The coworkers who made fun of his cheap lifestyle had been working alongside a secret multimillionaire for decades. Stories like Ronald's aren't rare outliers. Fast forward to right now in 2026, Fidelity reports over 595,000 people with 401k balances of $1 million or more. The average contribution rate for these millionaires just 14.1% of their salary. The average time they stayed invested 26 years. That's it. Consistent automatic investing in low-cost funds, nothing flashy. Many of them started by cutting small leaks like unused subscriptions and redirecting that money. Meanwhile, the median retirement savings for Americans aged 25 to 34 is still under $5,000. Social Security averages around $1,976 a month. Nowhere near enough for most people to live comfortably. 1 in 5 Americans over 65 is still working because they have to. These examples show that avoiding the subscription trap and redirecting even small amounts like $90 a month works for everyday people. It's not about being rich to start. It's about starting small and letting time do the heavy lifting. The math doesn't care about your job or your starting point. It cares about consistency. So now that you see it's possible, let's talk about how you actually do it, starting in the next few minutes. Look, I can show you all the math, tell you inspiring stories of janitors who died millionaires and people who stayed broke despite good jobs. But none of it changes your life unless you act right now. And here's the brutal truth about compound interest: every single day you delay, the math gets exponentially harder to catch up to. Right now, redirecting $90 a month for 30 years can build you around $200,000. Wait just 1 year, you'll need about $95 to $100 a month to reach the same goal. Wait 5 years, closer to $125. Wait 10 years, over $200 a month. The target moves away faster than most people realize. There are 2 versions of you 30 years from now. One version opens their retirement account and sees $200,000 to $500,000 or more. They're planning trips, spending time with family, financially secure, no stress about bills. The other version sees $50,000 or less, still working part-time at 73 because Social Security isn't enough, worrying about medications, one emergency away from real trouble. Both versions are you. The only difference is what you do in the next 30 minutes. Here's exactly what to do. Simple step-by-step, no excuses. Audit your subscriptions right now. Open your bank or credit card app, search for recurring charges under $50. Look for Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Spotify, gym memberships, Amazon Prime, unused apps, anything you haven't touched in 3+ months. This takes 5 to 10 minutes. Cancel the unused ones immediately. Keep the 1 to 2 you actually love. Cancel the rest. Most companies make it easy, or at least possible, online. Take the saved $90 or more if you cut extra and transfer it to a Roth IRA or add to your 401k. Open one at Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab if you don't have it. takes about 20 minutes online. If you're single and earn under $153,000 or married under $242,000 in 2026, Roth is ideal. Buy one low-cost S&P 500 index fund, VOO Vanguard 0.03% fee. FXAIX Fidelity 0.015% or SWPPX Schwab 0.02%. They all track the same thing and cost almost nothing. Set up automatic monthly transfers of $90 or start smaller. Momentum matters. Make it happen on payday so you never see the money. Then forget about the account. Check once a year at most. Extra perks. Roth grows tax-free forever. On $200,000, you save tens of thousands in taxes. 401k contributions are pre-tax and most employers match, adding free money on top. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Every month you keep those subscriptions is another month the compound math works against you. If this video hit home, do these 3 things right now. Smash the like button if you're ready to audit and cancel. Comment below, I just canceled X subscriptions, or my total subs cost $___. Time to flip it. I read every comment and reply to as many as I can. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video that could save you hundreds of thousands. You've got the math, the proof, and the plan. Open that bank app or brokerage in the next 30 minutes. Your future self is counting on it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.